Okay, so I'm going to try to explain dribbling here to you. Maybe I can shed some light on something that you're doing wrong. It's a useful skill to have, but I mean, it's not necessarily necessary for gold, platinum, especially in 3s. 2s, you're going to have a heck of a time still trying to do anything, try to carry the ball for any length of time. There's just kind of situations where you can do it, but for the most part, it could be helpful if you can pull off a flick or something whenever an opponent's trying to challenge you. It's going to make them second guess trying to challenge you again, which is going to open up more space for you. So that benefits to try to learn this. But it's also good because then you're going to try to learn how to have more car control, and that's always better. So basically, we'll start off here because I get an up close look at the car. Here's my Dominus. If you look right here in the hood, this is where my hitbox is going to be. Basically, anything that from here over to the right, the ball is going to fall off. Same with the left. Anything that if the ball rolls over past here and you're not using your momentum to turn and keep the ball pressed against your car, it's just going to roll off. Same with the back. If the ball goes past here, it's going to start rolling off your car. And anything from here onward, the ball is just going to roll onto your hood and then roll off your car. It's a little misconception here because you can travel with the ball right here, but to try to do a flick, for most flicks, you want the ball to be out here. So you want to carry the ball here, and then when you're ready to try to do a flick, you want the ball to roll down onto your hood, and then you to try to do a flick with it. But we can do that here later. Basically, though, the concept of the dribbling is you want the ball to be here, and you do not want to be holding down your acceleration the entire time. You want to be feathering and feathering your boost. So whenever this ball falls down to your hood, you're going to use your acceleration or your boost to push this ball back up here. So you want the ball to be in a constant state of trying to fall off the front of your hood. And that's important to know. Understanding how that ball stays up there and how you can manipulate it is how you get better at the game. So always try to look for what you're doing wrong or what you can do differently. And I kind of stumbled across that. So I'm just going to show you how I learned how to dribble. So custom training here, go all the way over. I already created a flick, but we'll go in and we'll create our own again. Flicks. I don't like this map. Go to there. Make sure it's striker, not goalie. That's the only thing. So basically, you want to create your first shot. You want to go turn the power all the way down. You want to put this ball right at the center field. And you want to put the car right behind it. Make sure it's all the way on the ground as well. That's your left trigger. Your right trigger will lift in the air. Alright. I'm going to make sure this is positioned right behind it. If it's off to the left or off to the right, it's going to make your first touch bad, which is going to mess up or make your entire dribble harder. So first touch is always important. So you want to have this as easy as possible right now. So we'll test this out. You want to make sure that you have your car lined up right in the center of that white circle. So whenever you go up and make your first touch, you always want to be looking at that white circle, at least until you get good enough where you don't have to look at it. As you can see, it's like right there on my hitbox the entire time. You can also tell that whenever I go up, like I'm feathering my boost here. I'm trying to exaggerate it a little bit for you. You actually just want to go like this. Not like that, but you get the point. You always want to have your ball cam off, because if you try to dribble with your ball cam on, I mean, you're just going to get some funky angles here. I mean, I don't know how you could dribble like that. You always want to have it off. Try to practice. Like, I'm not using any boost here right now. Try to practice just walking the ball into the goal. and then try to practice just using boost. You're going to learn the difference, what boost does whenever the ball's on top of your car versus just acceleration does. That's just going to be the important thing. And then once you feel comfortable here, you can learn how to flick. The most important basic flick that you can learn is just the front flip. When you get better, you can try to learn some kind of side flick, some kind of 45-degree flick. You'll learn musty flick. I mean, there's just a bunch of just basic flicks that you can learn. Basically, this is the only one where the ball is like off your car. It's like almost falling off, and then you're flicking it in. It's an interesting flick because you actually have to go completely like backwards. Because if you try to do a flick like that, like right here, try to do a basic backflip, you're just gonna go backwards. But you actually have to exceed that 90-degree mark to be able to even do this flick. So that's a fun flick to do. Yeah. But for the second shot, we can go and we can create. This one's going to be the exact same, but it's going to be the length of the field. This will be helpful, basically, to really test yourself, to try to keep the ball on your hood. But it's also helpful whenever you're trying to learn how to flick because you'll give you more room to adjust the ball to try to do a flick. So, test it. Same thing. You want to try to limit the amount of boost you have. And then you want to just try to boost the ball into the net. The more you move, the harder it's going to be to control the ball. There's going to be more points of contact. So the less you move, yeah, you get the point. You move a lot here, it's just going to pop the ball up. So move less, make your moves count, I guess. Maintain the ball speed, and that's about it, really. The important thing here is to feather your acceleration, feather your boost, stay within that white circle, and maintain the ball speed. That's basically it. We can do one more shot here, and it's basically just for redirection of the ball. Edit the ball. We'll put it at the side. We can do this. We can have the ball right here. That way we have to really change the direction of it. So we can test this shot. You want to make sure your first touch here is going to be good. Your first touch should be to push that ball towards the net. If I try to do this, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's going to make changing the direction of the ball a heck of a lot harder. So you want to make sure that your first... Still not a very good one. You want to make sure your first touch is good. My first touches are not very good right here. There we go. And I mistouched. Jeesh. Maybe if I get my first touchdown. Well, maybe if I can get this. well, I give up on that one. But basically, get your first touchdown. You always want to be pushing it towards the center. And then once you get the direction you want, just don't try to move too much. Why that took me so long to get. But for the most part, bud, I mean, it's good to learn how to have the ball on top of your hood. It's good for 1s and 2s, but even in 2s, someone's going to be in your face most of the time. So it's more practical to actually dribble on the ground. Just being able to put that ball in the goal. Being able to change the direction of the ball slightly. That's more important. Having control of the ball on the ground opens up more possibilities. And that's going to be the same thing. You're still going to have to maintain the ball speed. My opinion, it's more effective, honestly. Just go in there and practice. I mean, that's all you can really do here. Gain control of the ball, make the ball do what you want it to do. The fancy stuff will come later. Alright, I mean, I hope that helped. I'm still practicing myself. I go in here and I practice this, and then I'll save this. And then there have workshops on the PC that you can go in and try to do. These are really helpful, really hard. Let's say Dribble Challenge 2. You literally gives you no room for error here, because if you lose the ball, it's going straight down. You have to start over. Oop. A little mistouch right there is going to send you going. But yeah, I won't go through all of these. I just wanted to show you this as well. As you can see, there are a ton of levels here. I think I spent like an hour and a half trying to get past level 18 before I gave up. So they get pretty crazy, but I guess that's the best way to get better, is to test yourself and put yourself in awkward situations that you're uncomfortable with, and try to get better at it. So see if that helps. If not, you know, we can still work on it. Alright.